Shout out to Melissa. Shout out to Melissa. I have a stand. Make sure y'all say thank you to her. Okay, listen, it's the new me, new day. Gotta stand. Let's talk about, y'all. First of all, we gotta talk about what's going on to the court with Diddy. There is a surprise upset, okay? Now, y'all know I'm gonna give it to you straight. Is Diddy going to jail? Baby, 100%. And I find it odd that in the beginning I was saying the feds were doing their job, and so many people were saying, oh my God, T's a lying, T's a lying. And now everybody has come around to what I was saying, right? Got hands free, so I can now be extra with it, okay? Now, hear me out on this, right? But y'all know I'm gonna give it straight. If the prosecution has a great day, I'm gonna tell y'all, and the prosecution has had a lot of great days. But if the defense has a great day, we all have to talk about it too. Let me talk about them Atlanta people. Brian Still, Xavier, Miss Westmoreland. They are a problem. This is not my, listen, in my perfect world, he would have Mark Agnifilio up there every day. I don't know if Mark Agnifilio is a great lawyer with other stuff. I know that with Diddy, he'd be missing the jury. However, Brian Still, Westmoreland, and Xavier, baby, they are too good. Every time they're up there, I'll be looking like, I hope they sit down. They are too good at what they do. They're too good at instilling doubt in the jury's mind. And I hope to God they don't have to cross-examine anybody else. Arlene, Texas 444, thank you for gifting the membership. When I tell you, Brian Still and Mia, let me just say by saying this. I believe everything Mia's saying. There was too much detail and it corroborated too many stories. But Brian's still on the ones and twos, ripping Mia apart on the cross-examination. Yeah, it's not going good for her. I don't know why Mia just doesn't say, I was a victim of abuse. He had money. I wasn't going to go against him. Instead, she is struggling to explain why a man she said that she was terrified of, she was posting happy birthdays and bragging about being Diddy's assistant, even though she said that every time she was around, she felt terrified and throwing the phone. I'll tell you one thing that was said. LF, what's up? There is spiderweb. LF, thank you so much for the super chat, or set right here. Also, Miss Caroline said, girl, we were worried. Glad you're well and doing your thing. We admire your dedication and hard work. Yeah, I got to the courthouse a little late. And once you get to the courthouse, when you stand in line, they make you turn your phone off. But don't worry, I'm going to be on time tomorrow. Potent Pondering said, we missed you this morning. I missed you guys too. Also, the Sugar Case said, we're ready for the details. Much love from the Sugar Case. Also, Donder Kip Design, thank you so much. Okay, so what do we know, right? Diddy's team, and I'm surprised D-Rock hasn't getting indicted, literally tried to, on the low but not too low, bribe Mia into silence. Lady Kiki, thank you so much for the super chat. And welcome to the Tattletales family. Randy C said, I wish you had your own news show on TV. Speak it into existence. Okay, but let me be serious, right? Diddy's team did a couple of things, right? And Brian Still's too good. Him, Xavier, Westmoreland, please don't let them come up and do another cross because they're too good at what they do. And again, Diddy only needs one juror forever. Diddy only needs one juror. That's it. Only needs one juror. But what was revealed right now? One, Diddy's team, by way of D-Rock, tried to low-key bribe Mia. This might be one of the reasons why he's sitting in jail. On top of that, Diddy chased Mia around his yacht. She was literally hiding in closets, and Kim Porter had to come get her. What else was revealed? Diddy was, first of all, how was Diddy working? Stacy Brown, thank you so much for the super chat. And T. Ronnie said, hey, T said, thanks for your work. Can I get a Yana? What's up, T. Ronnie? Let me tell y'all something. Somebody lying, and I think it's Diddy. Mia said that Diddy was having hotel dates with Gina, with Cassie, and with Kim Porter. When was this man working? Which leads me to believe that Diddy was very, very good at getting people to do the work for him. Remember how Little Rod said everybody paints Diddy as this musical genius, but Diddy don't know anything about music. He don't know how to compose. He don't know how to read music, all this other stuff. And back then I was like, okay, but what's the big deal? Because I'm not a musician. Until musicians broke down the way Diddy's legend is. He is like this maestro, this savant with music. I think Diddy did the same thing in business. He was really good at getting in people's heads. He was really good at working them to death. And he was really good at managing people to do all his work. Because how were you working if you were freaking off every single day. Even if you were taking business calls by the freak off, how was that happening? Y'all, so much was revealed. Let's get into this testimony with Mia. She let so much out. Listen, first of all, just to let you guys know, they were arguing this morning saying that they're trying to see if they can stay with Diddy till 10 p.m. every night. And I'm sure Diddy don't want to go back to his jail cell eating some hocked up oodles and noodles. Now, interesting enough, the judge was like, okay, I looked into it, but the MDVC told me that you have 300 minutes and you've only used 47. Diddy was sitting in trial, because he's at the thing, this is changed. Diddy was sitting in trial and was like, no, I haven't. Talking like he's 3 years old. Diddy, stop. We already know that you are Count Dracula, or the way he be looking at court, Count Chocula. Stop with this crier boy act. Diddy sat there and was like, no, I don't have 47 minutes. I literally rolled my eyes so hard, right? But Diddy really went in there and said that he only had 47 minutes. No, that he only didn't have any minutes. The MDC said this fool got only used 47 minutes. The Judge Aaron was like, all right, I'm going to have to work this out and actually see who's lying. Because why? Somebody is 100% lying, okay? Then they said that they don't have a way to communicate with Diddy. Again, the judge was like, how? If you got 300 minutes and you only used 47, who is lying? He said he's going to look into it. Mark Agnifilio kept saying thank you. Mark Agnifilio wants like the wheels to come off, because the judge was like, listen, for people in Diddy's case, because don't forget, you got that way because you were doing weird stuff with the witnesses, and the government said that, and the judge clearly believed you. Also, Bayala said, thank you, Tisa, you're the best. Thank you. BJ Kennard said, the best has arrived. Thanks for the tea. You're welcome. And the Hood Rilla said, shout out to Gene Dill for knocking out trolls. What is Uncle Gene up to? Shout out to Uncle Gene also, but what is he up to? Who's he knocking out? Brandon said Xavier is a former prosecutor from the Bronx. He's a well-respected attorney in New York State. He's a problem. He needs to tone it down. He's a problem, Xavier. No more cross-examining. Sweet said, love tuning in. I know that's right. Back Alley Scam Chat says, do they have evidence, an essay, a video, the 40th birthday? So right now they haven't presented any evidence of the essay. It's just her word. Sandy Staten, thank you so much for the super chat. And also Sheila Delphia, what's up, everybody? Oh my God, thank you. Antigone Hart said, your reporting is amazing. You look beautiful and stay safe, Tisa. Justice for his victims. Justice for his victims. Okay, so listen to what happened, right? So anyway, Diddy's team is being like, can we stay there till 10 p.m.? The judge was like, okay, first of all, I've already given y'all so many. This is extraordinary. The level of accommodation I've given you has been extraordinary. And usually, in other cases, people don't get that much accommodation. Mark Agnifilio, Yana, I thank you, Yana, thank you. I literally was rolling my eyes like, Mark's knock it off, right? Faithfully 73, thank you so much for the super chat. He's like, but we just need more accommodation. So the judge said, okay, how about we wake Diddy up early and he'll get here around 7 and then y'all can stay till 6. How's that sound? Because he basically gave them about 3 more hours. They said they wanted till 10 because they have to leave Diddy at 3. Judge Aaron was like, no, you get to stay here till 5. The marshals are already stretched. And at the end of the day, he is in this because of his behavior. And there's only so much stretching legally I have to do. Even though Judge Aaron did say, I aim to please and I will do whatever. Living in Idaho, thank you so much. Said all of us Trump voters here in Idaho love you, Tisa. Oh, thank you. Tisa for president, praying for you. Is there going to be another election? Keep up the great work. You're amazing. What's up, guys? Okay, so listen, right? Let me just move a little bit over here. So, good. Okay, right? So, let's see. So where were we? Okay. So the judge is like, he's going to try to find something, but Diddy is trying his best to get as much free time as he can. Earlier transfer to the MDC, no transfer back, NBC. Okay, let's get into this, okay? So there was also a bunch of, they showed summary charts. The government was arguing about, listen, this information is very, very hard to actually accumulate. And I'll tell you about this detail later on live, but they wanted some summary charts. The interesting thing is, Brian Still did a big one. He said, well, Your Honor, we have these binders And you know, there's so much time with like letting information out. We have these binders, and is there any way with these binders that we can actually, you know, just get them admitted into evidence early, so then it's good for the jury? Judge Aaron was like, you know what, that's a good idea. However, those binders were a problem because I feel like they're giving the jury, it really undercut Mia's testimony. You know what I'm saying? Also, Melly said, always appreciating you and your content. Thank you so much for the super chat, Melly. And also, Latrice Hopkins said, yes, Barbie doll, Diddy did it from the back. But you, Tisa Teller, you did it for the front line. Thank y'all. Also, Tricia C, thank you so much for the super chat. Big Mama said, oh my goodness, I've been sending song messages to you and Jean to see if you was okay because I haven't seen you go live. So happy you're here. Don't scare me. You guys, sorry, I just got here late, but I'm good this morning. Irene Cherie said, you are the best. And what from now on, I'm going to make sure I go live, even if it's for 2 minutes each morning, so you know I'm okay. One proud Army mama said, baby sis, you need a tall cup of tea to relax and calm. Recross is coming. I don't see the grape though getting away with this, no matter how many tricks they pull. So we're on cross right now, and I know redirect is coming, but baby, I'm giving y'all the live play-by-play. Y'all want me to lie and be like Brian still didn't do his thing, but we are going to get into the play-by-play. Tough Woman said, thanks for updating us daily on the Diddy trial. Also, Susan McCluskey, thank you. Ricardo Lewison said, when I don't see that morning live from Tisa, I'd be 1 minute away from heading to the 4 trade station at City Hall with the search party. Thank y'all so much. Also, D Princess said, is the victim who the feds found through a SMEX tape testifying soon? She is actually 100% testifying soon. She is actually 100% testifying soon. You know what? I'm just going to run over on this side and film. Hold on, guys. I'm going to move and film on the other side because there's so many people around. And I don't want any civilians in my shot. Okay, is this better? I like the light over here better. Anyway, all right. Also, Big Angie, not the little one. Thank you so much. And Sue Berry said you're great. Okay, so listen to what happened, right? Because we got to get into this. First, let me give a shout out to Timmy Garagos. Actually looked really, really nice today. Now, I've been really critical of the Diddy team because I literally said, if you guys don't know, there was a Hollywood Reporter article Tisa Takes with Shirley Halperin. Make sure y'all go and give it a view. There will be a link in the description. If not, just put Tisa Tells Hollywood Reporter. Let me just say this, right? When it comes to the prosecution, I see why the prosecution is looking so rough, baby. They are working overtime. But I really felt like the defense should have had a more polished look because it makes it look like they're in charge. Well, Tanya Garagos actually tiptoed in here in a nice black pantsuit. She had on some Louis Vuittons. She looked really, really good. And I'm like, this is the way I expect Diddy's defense to actually work. Look, Table Talk with Mimi said, Mia said, there were highs and lows. Miss Caroline said, it's a high profile case, so we're on alert. Thank y'all. If I ever go missing, I want all y'all to testify. You're in the trenches. I'm sure the diddler knows who you are. We're coming in full force if something happens. The diddler, there's more weirdos out here than anything. Also, Robert Money Made, musician for entertainment, said, thank you for your amazing work. Thank you. All right, we're about to get into this. Natalie PR said, Tisa, it's good to see you. I was a little worried. And then also we got the Princess, right? The Princess said, Mia's testimony is to prove sexual violence in the RICO and there's no bearing on the SMEX trafficking charge. Okay, you guys, listen. I'm going to give y'all the truth, my impersonation. Diddy's team is not up, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and act like Brian still hasn't created doubt. They're still on the cross-examination, and I hope Mia, when she has a second to calm down, thinks and says what? Because Mia painted a picture of how terrified she was with Diddy. Sunkissed Potato said, hey, Tisa girl, I love you, right? She painted a picture of how terrified she was with Diddy. Now, Mia's testimony, very good. I 100% believed her. All right. Sherry Reddy said, great job, Tisa. You're a class act, beauty and brains. Love you, sister. Thank you. And Rosie J, thank you. And Trisha H, thank you. Okay. But the issue was, Brian still went through Mia's IG account. And he kept saying, do you remember November 4th? And she was like, why would I remember November 4th? And she's like, the day of November 4th. And she was like, okay. And she's like, what do you remember November 4th for? And she's like, that's Diddy's birthday. And he was like, it's Diddy's birthday? That's funny. Because you said that was the first time you were essayed by Diddy. And you said it was seared in your head. Did you not? And you said it's one of the things you will never forget. So can you explain to me why, when I say November 4th, you don't say, Diddy raped me, right? And Mia was taken aback. But again, if she had had a moment to think, and this is why Brian still had her on the ones and twos, if she had had a moment to think, she would have been like, first of all, I blocked it out. Second of all, I don't think about that. Third of all, if you know anything about SA, yeah. Then he started showing like 20 pictures in a binder of Mia being like, my brother, my mentor, my this, my that. And he kept saying, so this is your personal Instagram? And she was like, yeah. And you were saying how much you loved him? Yeah. And this was your personal Instagram? Now listen, we all know, because we're smart and we know how SA is. One, Diddy was the most powerful man in the music industry, at one of the most powerful men at that time, right? Two, we also know, right? Two, we also know that Mia, even though she was his personal assistant, whenever she didn't do anything that Diddy wanted her to do, he would get like knuck in a buck. And we're going to talk about her terror she was chased around. But honestly, and this is the third part that we really need to get into, okay? Even though it was her private account, there would have been issues. And you know how it is when you work in the celebrity field. If she was not shouting her boss out, if she was not saying, what's up to Diddy, all this good stuff, there would have been serious big issues. So the fact that she was posting on her public account, happy birthday to the man, the myth, the legend, it's literally to be expected. It's to be accounted for. Do you feel what I'm saying? Y'all feel what I'm saying? So there was an explanation, but Brian still was hitting her with the hoo-ha, hee-ha-ha. She literally, he was literally hitting her so hard that she couldn't even think. However, I think she's going to come back. Hey, D. Smith, thank you so much for the cash app. I think she's going to come back better and harder than ever after she comes back. But he was getting her. Nathan and PR said, T said, it's good to see you. I was a little worried. I know y'all right. D. Princess said, Mia's testimony is to prove, yeah. We already read that, okay. Sunkissed Potato, okay. Sherry Reddy said, great job. Oh, yep, I read that too. Thank you, Trisha. I'm just getting to the super chats or commercial break. Sandy Stanton, thank you so much for gifting a membership. George Jansen, thank you so much for the super chat. Honeybee Therapy, thank you. B. Will said, yes, the defense asked some tough questions, but the essay still happened on a few occasions. Great job. Also, Yaquoba said, how come they can look through people's private texts? Oh, because the government, and this is what you all need to realize, the government subpoenaed a bunch of text messages, and they looked through all the devices and they got the screenshots. Even if you lose the messages, nothing is really lost. They can pull it out of devices. Make sure y'all, I don't know. D. Princess said, I think Brian still is coming at her too hard. To me, it gives Diddy vibes. She's still a victim. But here's the thing. Laura Smith said, I was worried about you. Thank y'all. From now on, I will be on every single morning. Also, Angela Perry, welcome to the Tattletales family. And D. Gray said, Tisa's eyes are dangerously guarded. Y'all capping me up. Thank you. Don't worry, I'm safe, y'all. And I got security. I'm cool, right? So anyway, listen. Why was Brian Still's cross so effective? Now, it's not over, so Mia might get her wits about her, right? Hector Rodriguez, thank you so much for the super chats. Because you guys, listen, Diddy is going to jail. It's not just Mia, even though Mia's testimony is 100% believable. And they haven't even gotten the victim, too. But you got to look at it like this. When Mia was testifying, a lot of the men were literally on her side. When you looked at the jury this time, on the cross, when they were like, well, why is this, and why is this, and why is this, and why you said this and that, a lot of the men were shaking their head. A lot of the men on the jury had their eye cocked. A lot of men were looking at her like, this don't make any sense. This is not good. Listen, we are enlightened into what SA is and what survivors are. But there's a lot of people that are not enlightened. And the whole thing is, no matter what we say, you are trying to get the jury. You are trying to play for the jury. Again, I will say it. Xavier, Westmoreland, and Brian Steele, no. Get them out of there. Put Mark Agnifilio back up there. Put Mark Agnifilio up there. We love to see it. We love to see it. Also, Angela Perry, welcome to the super chat. I very much appreciate you coming to the family. B deleted a message, but thank you to the fandom super chat. Hector, thank you again. Oh, also, Angela Perry. Oh my God, thank you for upgrading your membership. And Chantel Renee said, I love that you block out the negativity. Team Tisa, maybe I don't see any negativity or no worries or problems. Y'all know I be in my bubble, minding my business, happy as can be. Do you see this skin, baby? This is sleeping with no worries. Table Talk with Mimi exclusive said, what's up, Mel? Said, IG is a fake life. It's fake life is great. Mia said that, so those posts are not eating. Well, here's the thing. Table Talk with Mimi. I did make a note and said, so all you proven is that IG is fake. Got it. Because we all know IG is fake. However, the men on the jury who just yesterday were looking very, very, very sympathetic toward Mia were shaking their heads. Again, I hope they pull up. Mia did a big one and she was like, yo, well, you're going to have to ask the experts why that is and why I remember it. But again, Brian still is getting a win. I do think that Mia's going to come back after the break and she is going to be very, very, very more composed. Again, he was in her head. He was moving her around. And I don't care what it says on the tweets. I'm telling you the way I perceived it to be playing to the jury. Okay, the prosecution were also taking notes. They're going to have to clean up this cross, and the cross isn't even happening. Delight Graphic Design, thank you so much. And getting it together with Drea said, that's Mia's literal job. Exactly. His image, regardless of anything he's done, right? Okay, so listen. 1, Diddy is 100% done. 2, good point. It is her job. But he had, oh my God, here comes some of Mia's friends walking by. Listen, it is Mia's job. However, Brian had her so much coming and going, hammering and making her explain herself, the things that didn't even need to be explained, that she couldn't even take a moment to think, no, it's my job. Because all she had to say was, my job, because I have a public account, is to post this man. And if I don't post this man and don't honor this man, then he is going to be chasing me around the yacht. Antoinette Johnson, thank you so much for joining the family. Chrissy B said, I admire your courage, grit, determination, and consistency. You are truly an authentic being. Oh, thank you. Keep up the great work. And also, Lightworker 1964, thank you so much for the super chat. Randy C said, make a banner with your Cash App on it. Maybe I will. Missionary 777 said, T said, keep up the great work, sister. You're a very beautiful lady. Thank you. And Candy Ortiz said, hey, you're the best girl. Thank you, Candy. You're so tender. Even okay, let me stop. Miss Lady, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Eva Felipa Watson said, hola guapa, we've been waiting on you. I've sent your updates to my family in the UK. You will have more family members. You're the best. Thank you all so much. And also Felicia Vargas, thank you so much for the super chat. Also Tiffany W said, you are serving it. Thank you. And Suli Buchanan, thank you so much for the memberships. Also Yikwaba said, how can one man be given a RICO? Because it's not one man. It's not one man. That's what you forgetting. D-Rock and all his employees all work together to carry out his whim. It's the same way Al Capone had underlings about it. It wasn't one man. It wasn't one man, but Diddy directed it, and that one man is up on trial. You see what I'm saying? Is up on trial. Nancy Belendez Gamble, thank you so much for the super chat. And Antoinette Johnson said, Tisa, I just love you and how you give us the update on trial. Stay safe. Listen, I'm going to do and only people that share my platform without asking anything in return. And don't get involved. Okay? I'm not about the dramas at all. And for anybody that's bringing drama to my channel, I'm going to have to start blocking y'all. I keep negativity, positivity, and light. All right? Whether you give a super chat or not, please leave that small-minded mess outside of here, okay? God. Cody, this is what, Cody, now I'm beginning to see why people don't be sharing their platforms. Cody Code 39 said, Tisa, I'm tuned in too much. My 5-year just came up to my desk and said, it's Tisa, keep making us proud. Sick, thank y'all. Chow Young Cat said, be joyful in hope, patience, affection, and faithful in prayer. And Kendra Conwell, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Table Talk with Mimi said, you missed my super chat. I'm sorry, Table Talk. I'll get back. Potent Pondering said, ignoring them haters. Later focus on what matters. Exactly. Fan for life, Angela, thank you so much. And they want the D. Thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Dory Angel said, don't worry when they talk about you. Worry when they stop. Tisa, when you amazing. Exactly. They've been talking about me since I started. Please. Anyway. Anyway, right? It's Graves at Tisa. I look forward to your updates. Diddy and the likes need to pray for their actions. Victoria from Montreal, what's up? Pam Bassett said, what did Quentin Crimson do when Mia said that Kim told her she hid in the crew in the cabinet? The funny thing is, everybody seemed a little bit uncomfortable. Britannia, she said, thank you for everything you do. Everybody looked really uncomfortable with the Kim Porter testimony. Sarah said, if someone is making Tisa cuss, I will F up someone. Tisa, make me a mod. I got you. Listen, I will just say that, I will just say this. Listen, anyway, oh, Caprice. Oh my God, thank you. You said, I love your perspective and all you report. Thank y'all so much. Okay, let's get back into the story. Two more super chats on the commercial break. Then we get back into the story. Jody Johnson Strong said, I'll be a moderator. Okay, hold on. Regina Winnington Max said, God bless you. Stay focused on the truth. Nothing but distractions. Give them none of your time. I'm not. Wanda Young said, you acting things out is so comical. Thank you. And Casonia Blank, thank you so much for your super chat. And Straight Drop Promotion said, stay positive and keep glowing. And TT said, you're doing so good. Would love to see you. Black Nancy Grace on my TV. Don 70, welcome to the Tattletales family. Tonya Brady said, I came because you looked like my mom. I stayed because your content is top tier. Boo, thanks for staying consistent. Thank y'all so much. Oh, last thing, Jaquiba said they should all be going back to a cage, not just him though, okay? Shouldn't he be charged with domestic violence? It's too late to charge him with domestic violence, but I'll tell you one interesting thing. Diddy is very busy protecting everybody, so who cares? The Wall said, them the haters to kick rocks with thong flip-flops. I know that's right. B, thank you so much for deleting. And who was it? Janice, thank you so much. Christian Feaster said, Tisa, let them haters be your motivators. They are. Let's not even talk. Listen, we're not talking about any haters anymore. Pretty bad. I just don't like when people bring me negativity and drama. I don't care. I don't know who any of these people are. It's cool. Pretty Dad's 33 said, so glad to see you, girl. I was looking forward to your updates all morning. And Miss Lady said, don't let nobody throw you off your game. Do your thing, girl. Thank you. And also Yolanda Drinker, thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, so let's get this straight. The Light Graphic Design said, I can do your banner, Tisa, complimentary. Okay, thank you. So listen, she said that there was a scene on the yacht where Diddy had a whole bunch of cash. Now, nobody's talking about where Diddy's getting his cash. So Mia was sitting there counting the cash. Diddy was getting mad, like, what's taking so long? Why you ain't counting the cash so much? Mia looked at him and finally had enough. She said, well, first of all, it's not my job. That's all Diddy said. Diddy got furious. Diddy was vibrating. He got furious. And Mia looked at him and looked at this. And Mia was like, whoo! Literally, she turned into a track star. Mia took off. But get this, Diddy was sitting there while Mia took off and started chasing Mia all up and down the yacht. Imagine a crazed man that you see beat Cassie, you see beat girls. There's nothing. You even see the LAPD tribe. You in the middle of the sea. This is like that Jennifer Lopez movie when she was abused, and you are running up and down the yacht. She was hiding in bed. She was doing this. She was literally running for her life. Diddy is acting like a crazed person. Running after her. And you know when that man get mad, he got energy. I've always said this. If anybody's ever been in a fight, welling on somebody for 2 minutes in a fight will completely take all your energy out. But instead, Diddy can go for hours, right? Not in bed, according to Mia. But according to everybody else, he can go for hours when it comes to fighting. So he's just sitting there, literally chasing her up and down. She was literally hiding for her life, scared. It got so bad, Kim Porter and everybody on the yacht had to stop what they were doing and literally look for him and be like, yo, it's okay, don't worry. Because she really thought that Diddy was going to put her underneath, right? That Diddy was going to put her underneath the thing. Baby, it was bad. It was bad, okay? Nacho Cece said forced labor should be one of the charges. I know that's right. And Fly Girl 517 said, that's right, Tisa. Keep that positivity. I know that's right. Shar said, happy birthday. Wait, is it Friday? Happy Friday. Love you. I don't know why I thought it was Thursday. Okay, good. Life Lessons and Lion says, I created a Diddy testimony timeline. Where to send? TisaTells@gmail.com. Okay, thank y'all so much for the cash apps. I appreciate y'all. Also, Breezy said, Tisa, you staying on Diddler's neck. I love to see it. And Penny said, hey, Tisa, you know the dark can't survive in a beautiful light. Have a wonderful day. I know that's right, baby. We are positive on this channel. Real Louie, thank you so much. I don't ever have to be the news because, baby, we report it. Also, Tammy Robinson, thank you so much for the super chat, all right? Okay, so where are we at? So anyway, they said that she was in Cape Town, South Africa. Oh, Black Anonymous said no regular employer could get away with this mess. Diddy got away with it. He would have been fired and the company was sued. Get this. Oh, this is another way they almost got her. Everybody was buying Mia's stuff and she's very credible. And all of a sudden they're like, did you ever approach Diddy after you were falsely let go? And she said, yeah. And they said, what did your lawyer ask for? And she was like, I believe, well, you know Mia, she's sitting on that stand looking like Professor Snape, right? Just traumatized, her hair on her face, right? And she's like, and she looks down and she was like, hold on. And she be looking down, so she was like, my lawyer asked for $10 million. Now when she said that, I said, girl. But then I said, you know what? Get that money. Get that money. She said that the lawyer asked for $10 million. And the funny thing is, the one bald-headed guy on the first thing of the jury, because it's jury 1, 2, and 3. I believe the black row is alternates, but the first and second are the jurors. There's a lady in the second. I don't know if she's a problem, but there's a guy in the first row. He literally cocked his eyebrow like 10 million. And I said, oh, you better get that money. But then she told us that when they actually settled, she only got $200,000. And that was for overtime, not payment, all that stuff. So I said, wow, Diddy is just amazing. Like amazingly bad, right? So anyway, she said they were in Cape Town shooting a movie, right? And Cassie was really upset because she felt like Diddy had humiliated her. Why is that? Because Diddy got caught cheating on Cassie with a thing of Gina. I find it odd that everybody that was talking about Cassie being a hoe for what she did to Alex, which is all lies anyway. Cassie being a hoe for what she did talking to Michael B. Jordan. Though nobody got ish to say about Diddy being the biggest ho out there, and he was cheating on Cassie the whole time. Again, I don't know where y'all live, but where I live, if you are cheating, whether or not the person finds out, you do no longer have an exclusive relationship. And no, the other person doesn't have to inform you. When you decide to cheat, that's what we doing. We cheating, right? You can't be a hoe, have other hoes and think that you're in a committed relationship, right? Anyway, you can't be cheated on. So anyway, she said that Gina was in a club with Diddy, and Gina popped up in that video. And you know Gina, I'm sure Gina did it on purpose, because I do remember back in the day, Cassie and Kim Porter would be taking shots at each other. So I'm sure like the video was going around, Gina was sitting there like rocking, and all of a sudden the thing panned around to Gina, and Gina was probably off to the side, right? And she just stepped into focus. Oh, what? Oh, sorry. And ran out. I know Gina let that one and let it hit. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Gina, because Gina been trying to land that man for, and it was early when Diddy was in the love bombing phase, okay? So anyway, they said Cassie caught Diddy cheating. Gina with Diddy in the club, right? Gina with Diddy in the club. Cassie was devastated. She said that they tried to get Cassie to talk to Diddy on the phone, but Cassie was like, no. They argued a little bit, but then Cassie was like, no, I'm not doing this. I can't get into this, right? And she said that Cassie stopped answering Diddy's phone calls, right? Diddy was in Miami, still cheating on her, right? And had KK try to call Cassie. Then told Mia, can you get Cassie on the phone? Sorry, messenger, don't shoot me. Then she said she woke up, right? And to like literally 48 missed calls and a bunch of messages saying, Diddy just tried to call you. Call me first. He's in a spiral. Please call me. And she was like, I just woke up. It doesn't sound like Diddy's in his right mind. I'm going to rehearsals with Cassie. Because get this, Diddy had told Mia to fly down to South Africa to babysit Cassie. I think that he wanted Mia there for his eyes and ears to make sure Cassie wasn't getting too close, because you know how cheaters, the most jealous people in the world, are the biggest cheaters, right? Well, especially when it comes to men, right? So they were like, okay, they go down and they're just like, all right, so let me get into this. Let me go. Let me watch. Now get this. And this is how much control Diddy had over her. Do you know that when Mia flew down to South Africa to be with Cassie, do you know that Diddy made her pay for her own ticket? And then Diddy was like, yo, if you don't fly back right now, you getting fired, right? You getting fired. And then all of a sudden, she had to change her ticket and pay for all that herself. I said, Diddy was beyond cheap. How is a billionaire paying you $65K? How are they going to get fired? Hey, what's up? Melissa Esperanza, thank you so much for your super chat. Pretty Pink Progressive said, go girl, love your energy. Thank you. The International Madam, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, we got Opinionator said, do you think Diddy will turn on Jay-Z and Beyonce? I think that if Diddy had anybody to turn on, he would. I don't think he knows any of Jay-Z or Beyonce's tea. Also, Doug Max said, I hope you're hiring. I almost lost my job waiting for you to come on. Oh, thank you. Pamela Sellers said, Tisa, you're doing an awesome, awesome job. Thank you so much, you guys. All right, so listen. Wait, hold on. Let me read this one more time. Also, Patrice Villa said, thank you for your hard work and the updates. We love you, Tisa. Also, Altine Ahmed said, sending love for Nigeria. Wango, you doing great. Let's get some smoked fish jollof rice popping. Okay, so anyway, right? So there's like, Diddy is blowing up the phone. There is a bunch of missed calls. Mia, they said Diddy sounded irate. He was slurring his words. He sounded irrational. He kept threatening her job. He threatened to murk her. He said he was going to take the phone. He literally said, I'm on the phone right now with AR. Mia was like, that was obviously a lie. They were like, how you know it's a lie? She's like, because it was 4:18 in the morning. So basically Diddy was acting like a crackhead, calling somebody at 2 or 3, whatever he was on. What was he on? The 2G? Whenever that 2G hit, he was like a crazed man on the phone, just saying, I'm surprised he didn't say I'm gonna blow up the world. Leslie, thank you so much for the super chat, right? They said it wasn't the first time that KK reached out on behalf of Diddy. Again, I know this sounds funny, but this is a RICO. This is a criminal conspiracy. Did it not say in the indictment that he used his money, power, and influence to direct high-ranking officials in order to conduct a RICO, which was sex trafficking, and to keep these victims close. C. Coelho R said, Rock Nation executive Desiree Perez is sued for RICO. Baby, listen, we're going to talk about Rock Nation when I get home. Let me just get through this testimony. There is so much going on. This is my Super Bowl, you guys. This is my Super Bowl. I can't wait. Okay, fine. Let me calm down, focus myself, and get to work. Anyway, KK kept calling, saying, I'm sorry. Diddy wants to talk. He just called me again. Diddy was going crazy. Infernal Hulk 811. Huh? Oh, the family's leaving? Or they're coming back in? The Diddy's family's leaving and coming back in. Let's see if we can get a whole thing. Internal Hulk 8081 said, Tisa, your play-by-play of the Diddy trial is top-notch journalism. You're intelligent. It's the only thing that surpasses your beauty. Do you think Gene Deal and Roger Bonds will testify? Stay blessed. Gene Deal will not testify because the prosecution said that they don't want people that have a big media presence testifying. Roger Bonds has been largely quiet. And I do believe that Roger Bonds is going to testify. And I think he's going to testify for the prosecution. Leslie, thank you so much for joining the family. And Tina Kamian said, you work in the hair. Please help Janice Combs with them wigs. You listen, let me tell y'all something. In real life, Janice Combs looks really, really beautiful. And that platinum suits her. Diddy's mom is a beautiful, beautiful woman. And that platinum suits her. I know on cameras, it's like, oh, whatever. But you know, I love when somebody got a number 27 or a 6'2", 6'13" wig. That's my jam. C. Coelho R said, yay. But Janice Combs is a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. Her bone structure, now she's tiny. She's very tiny, like very tiny and very short. But her face, mwah. And the wigs, they suit her very, very well, right? Very, very, she's a gorgeous woman. And that platinum, y'all gonna see me dipping and diving when I'm 80 in a platinum 2-piece. I might even have neon fluorescent green. As we age, thank you so much for the super chat. And Latrice Strong, thank you so much for the super chat. Woo! Kelly Black, yes, thank you for the Cash App. You said, I hope Diddy goes down. Me too, right? Okay, listen, I'm about to go upstairs in 1 second, but I just want to get through this, right? Anyway, and then we're gonna go back on the record, okay? So anyway, KK was like, yo, I'm so sorry. He just wants to talk. He called me again. She's like, I'm so sorry. If he said don't call him, right? He said if you don't call him in 2 minutes, you're fired. Diddy was tweaking. He was tweaking. But he's so violent and powerful, you had to take him seriously because outside of that, oh, look, there's Diddy's kids going into the courtroom. Do y'all see them? There's Quincy. There's Justin. They're walking into the courtroom right now. Don't say I'll never give y'all anything action. Right? This is proving I'm outside the courtroom and not walking in, not sitting in my mama's basement. Anyway, right? Even though, don't tempt me. Maybe I will report live from my mama's basement and literally put a green screen behind me and be like, hi guys, live. Oh, look. look, more. There go Diddy's family right there, going in right there. There go Mama Combs. It looks like a niece, uncle, somebody. Anyway, that's Mama Combs, Christian, and a few people going in right there. Y'all saw it here first. That's why y'all need to follow the lives. Y'all never know what you gonna get. All right. So anyway, right? Diddy was tweaking. You better call me right now. If you don't call me in 2 minutes, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? But that's how much fear they had. Cause let something in the party call me 3:30 in the morning. Talking about you gonna do this and that. Man, that's going straight to voicemail. I don't even care. You could be the president of the United States. I don't care if it's 3:30 in the morning. Man, mark that mess unread and let's go back to sleep. Anyway, she said that she told him that she had to get on a plane immediately on her own money. He threatened to fire her, murk her, all this. It wasn't the first time. She said TD wants to call. Now Mia, what? Who, what? Now Mia, right, was like, there was 48 missed calls or messages. She pointed out the time difference. She said it's ridiculous. She said, I'm not ignoring you, even though real talk, you were ignoring him. But you know what? I love that because it shows when your boss is being unreasonable, you don't curse your boss out. You just find excuses why you weren't available, right? She was like, she literally said that she had night terrors. So KK emailed her and was like, yo, how's things going over there? And she said, oh, besides the night terrors, panic attacks, I can't breathe. It's going great. I said, you better get that workers' comp, right? They showed messages between Mia and Diddy. Diddy was like, if you don't call me now, I'm going, oh, that's another thing. Diddy said, if you don't call me now, I'm going to tell everyone everything we did. I'm going to tell Cassie about the facts of what you did with me, which oddly enough was an essay. What does it show? Blackmail. It shows a pattern. It also shows coercion. You're using things of a sexual nature to force these people. What do you need in sex trafficking? You need force and you need coercion, and you only need 2 instances of either, right? She said she was scared and terrified. All right. She also said that Diddy said, if you don't call me now, I'm going to tell and expose everything to Cassie, FABC, and all the lawyers. So he was helping Mia get this pilot. Now here's the thing. A lot of people are like, that don't sound right, because why would Diddy miss money? Why would Diddy miss money? Do y'all remember what Diddy did to Dane and Kane? Do y'all remember what he did to Day 6? Do you remember what they did to Dirty Money? Diddy has look what he did to have all the artists on Bad Boy. Diddy don't care. He will shut down a project in a minute because it's not about the money for him, it's about the control. So I 100% believe that when it came to whether or not he would axe a TV show, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, he didn't care about that TV show and he used it to dangle over Mia's head, right? All right. So he said FABC was supposed to be on ABC and all the lawyers. You have 2 minutes to call me, right? Or I'm going to F you up and let Cassie know what we did. Again, I said the comedy show sold to ABC. She was super exciting and threatening him threatening to take it away had her crying so bad she had snot coming out of her nose. Now, what does that tell you? Is this not the sex trafficking? Is this not the RICO? The shady hot 89 said, where's Little Rob in all this? He's the one who really started the hype. He is, but again, people that did a lot of interviews, the feds decided not to interview because they didn't want the media circus that Diddy would have gotten. Hold on, y'all. Oh, also, Leslie, thank you so much again for the membership. Place it. God bless you, Tisa, and thanks for all your hard work. Would you give more? I will give more, but this is my birthday weekend. Keep up the great rep. Play. Thank you for giving everything, and happy birthday to Play. Y'all send Play some birthday wishes. Jerome Finney said, Tisa, we needed you to actually get lunch on these breaks for lunch, baby. Tisa, y'all been telling me forever, Tisa, are you pregnant? I'm not pregnant. I was just going through stress and was eating, and I was by my mom, and you know I will eat everything my mom says. So Tisa is on, not a diet, but I'm trying to get active and miss some meals. So thank you, but I am eating dinner. And No G70 said, Tisa, have you heard anything about the singer Sherry Dennis? Not yet. Cold Soldier, thank you so much for subbing. Also, hold on, just one more super chat. Lee said I should get on the train and say hi, but here's a little Starbucks in the meantime. Oh, thank you, Lee. Thank you. Also, Donna W., welcome to the Tattletales fam. And also, Jody Johnson Strong, thank you so much for that. Okay, so listen. She said she begged Diddy. He said, and if you don't call me in 2 minutes, I'm going to do all this. She was on the thing begging him, please just give me 9 minutes. Cassie's in a fitting. I can't make her call you. She said Diddy sent her a million messages. Mia was apologizing. Then there was an email from Mia to Pumph being like, this is not fair. She said, listen, I just want to make sure I understand exactly what you want, okay? DDF said, thanks for standing up for yourself. Oh, thank you. Listen, so she was like, thank you, DDS. So she said she bought her own ticket to see Cass, and she asked Diddy, listen, it's very expensive. I don't have that much money, but if you let me know exactly what you want to do, like basically forget Cassie, forget everyone, I will do exactly what you want, okay? And Mia said, I've never asked you for money, but she was begging a billionaire for money to come back to work when he was the one that sent her to South Africa. Y'all, listen. Y'all know I don't have any interns. I am about to start hiring for interns. Actually, let me pay y'all because people be talking. But also, Diddy had a thing on people where they felt like they had to prove and would even spend their own money. Ma'am said the world needs more people like you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, guys. And also, Ray Lewis said, is KK part of the RICO? She is, but it's yet to know whether she's going to testify for Diddy. My prediction is I think KK flipped. I think KK flipped, okay? So Mia was begging. She said Cassie seemed heartbroken. She said, listen, Diddy, I want to follow your directions. I know he's kicking himself because this is an email from 2013 that proves that she was only doing his behest, which proves the RICO. Goldie526 said, salad on me, Tisa. Ah, thank you. You know, weight loss and salad goes hands in hand. I'm going to get a chicken Caesar with extra dressing. Anyway, Erin Renee, thank you so much for coming to the family. Also, Big Chris said, missed you this morning. Keep up the good work. You guys, I promise you all see me every single morning for here on out. And Renita Lunsford, thank you so much for being a part of the family. Okay, so she said, I want to follow your directions. Of course, Diddy, I will do whatever you want. She said she knows no one cares what he does to her, so she had to keep him happy. Mimi, 1214, thank you so much for joining the Tatros family. She said that she needed to follow Diddy's instructions. She said she was sending email after emails. She said, I want to stay if you want me to, but if you don't, I want to go back. I just want to make sure Diddy's happy. She even forwarded, she said that she had to tiptoe around him, and she even forwarded all the emails to KK, and she begged KK for clarity to change the flight or not. I know Diddy and all of them are kicking themselves because, baby, that is RICO right there. That is RICO right there. Just shows that positive vibes only. Y'all know that's right, baby. You can tell I drink my water, I mind my, hey, what's up? I drink my water, I mind my business, and baby, I give y'all what y'all want, baby. Consider me unproblematic, okay? Anyway, I will say, you know what? With this thing with Mia, she didn't know whether she should change her flight or not. She said it was impossible to make a decision without Diddy's okay because Diddy orchestrated it. Listen, Randy C said 16K in the chat. You're doing great, T said. Thank y'all so much. Hit that like button. Also, she said it's impossible to make decisions without Diddy. There was all these shifting moves. They had to work around him. She said she always felt defeated, pointless, incompetent, letting her friends down, couldn't give the answers. She said that she got suspended a lot whenever she didn't bring Cassie on a silver platter to Diddy. The chief of staff and HR were notified. The HR is Vashta Wilson, and the chief of staff was Brian Bias Fletcher. I don't know, somebody like that. The point is, when I was sitting there, I was literally writing RICO, sex trafficking, collusion, co-conspirator. It was like, and I know, you know what's so crazy with Diddy? The fact that Diddy did all this mess years ago, I think, honestly, and people have told me, oh my God, Stephanie M. English said, for you being a truth keeper. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Ice VR, thank you so much for coming into the Tattletales family. And Randy C, oh, hey, what's up, mama? Randy C, thank you so much again. So listen, listen. So they said violence. Oh, so this is another thing, right? Can you imagine, because Diddy's done worse things. This was in the beginning when he first got some money. Can you imagine the mess he's into now? And can you imagine somebody jamming you up And you were saying you don't never want to go to a place where you're rats and roaches, and now you're sitting here fighting with the rats and roaches in your cell, all because of some mess you did 20 years ago. I know Diddy feels dumb. I know he feels stupid. But at the end of the day, Yolanda Washington said, thank you for all that you're doing. We love you. I love y'all too. Thank you. You guys are my safe space. Bluetooth Party said, he said, when Diddy's news broke, what did it stir in you emotionally? Not gossip, your truth. How did it hit your spirit? Honestly, when the Diddy's news first broke, y'all know I had a head start on it. I knew what was going on behind the scenes. So when he got arrested, I felt relieved and vindicated. Again, people are saying that Diddy is into some really dark, dark stuff. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. But the same way they got Al Capone for tax evasion is the same way they getting Diddy for this. You know what I'm saying? They don't need to prove everything to put you in jail for the rest of your life. Anyway, right? I know Diddy is upset because there is literally from 20 years ago, you proven Rico, you threatening people, you doing all this stuff. I know Diddy is sitting there like, damn. You know, again, this is why I keep things love and light. There will never be a time somebody can come back to me and said I was doing this, I was talking shit. No. When you lead with like good heart and honest intentions, like nobody can say anything, you know? Joni, or even if they do, it don't stick because where's your proof anyway? Joni Blair said, hit the like button and make sure the likes match the views. Also, T. Young says there need to be way more people on trial. That demon had way too much help. And Noji and Jolie 70 said, Tisa, Rihanna should put you in a makeup campaign. Oh, please, Rihanna needs to get back out. Well, she don't need to do nothing. She's a mom to 3. Anyway, TB said, love you and your surprise witness cousin. Shout out to BJ Investigates. When are you, wait, who said, when are you live outside? I watch you. When I'm live outside, you watch me. And when I'm inside, you watch her. Well, baby, I'm going to start going live inside too. So BJ's going to have to scoot over because I want y'all to watch me too. Okay, so listen, right? Anyway, oh my God. So then they said, D-Rock. Let me tell y'all something before I go back in the court. D-Rock's name was all up and down this. Let me flip to the good part. And then I'm going to go back in the court. When the news of Cassie's lawsuit broke, D-Rock, now she hadn't talked to D-Rock in 2 years. He hit her with a text and said, yo, what's up? Hit me up. She said she already knew what it was about. She looked at that like, what you want, D-Rock? D-Rock hit her and said, yo, he told her about his life. He said, yo, life is crazy. I just want to catch up. Mia said, I already knew what time they were on, right? He said, yeah, all this is crazy. All this stuff that's making the news is crazy. Jonathan said, love you, girlie. Keep doing your thing. Thank you. And Wendy Perry said, you're amazing. May God surround you with blessings and protection. Thank you. And thank you for your awesome energy and work protection. This is why we vibe and why we're family, because we're on the same path. Maybe there is too much going in this world not to mind our business and do funny reenactments of Diddy. That's why I get y'all. We're here for the laughs. Arun Renee said, please don't say my name. Do you think Stevie J will testify, as in the law? I say he was likely as Faith. Been listening to 2003. Much love. Thank you. First of all, I 100% do believe that Stevie J is going to testify for Diddy. Now, if Faith testifies, I don't know about that. C. Carlo R. said, Bill Cosby Jr. Harvey Weinstein vibes. Yes, indeed. That is exactly what he has. So anyway, D-Rock said, yo, this is crazy. He said, yo, but you know what? They saying all this stuff, but Puff and Cass would just fight like normal couples. And she said when she heard that, her blood went cold. Because she was like, first of all, D-Rock, you don't talk like this. Second of all, I know what you're calling for. Because Diddy has a history of getting people to put things up, to flip people, so you lie for him. 3, stop right there. I know where you're going, D-Rock, and I'm not doing it. Mia said she already knew because Diddy had been playing this game forever. You know what? Forever. Oh, also really quick, where we at? Brittany Renee said, is D-Rock dead or alive? People saying he's dead. D-Rock is alive and kicking. And so is Ruben, his little brother. Sue Herman, what's up? Also, Constance Hamilton said, hi, Tisa, great job. You are awesome. Thank you. Okay, so listen, right? I honestly have to get back into court. I'm loving this, but I promise I'm going to be back down in probably an hour to tell y'all what ended up going on with the rest of the cross-examination. I got so much more tea. And also, you guys, make sure you hit notifications because I'm going to be working, grinding all weekend, and we are going to do literally the NFL for the trial. This is our Super Bowl, and we're going to have Diddy Fantasy League. When I tell you it's going to be entertaining, and informative. And baby, we are breaking this RICO case all the way down. I'm even gonna pull out a whiteboard and a pen and pencil and some UV glasses, and we are having Tisa Tells University. It's gonna be fun. Turn your notifications on, I promise you. Lori Lou said, Lori from Oakland, Cali. Get them, girl. Thank y'all so much. Anyway, let me get out of here. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Talk to everybody later. See y'all soon.